Hi girls, this is my second video tutorial and I'm going to show you how to make this file folder. I posted this on my blog a few weeks back and Paula left me a lovely comment asking how I made it, so I decided to do another video tutorial for you. Sorry about the glare from the top, but that's because everything's quite shiny there. The sides are open, and then the back I've just stamped on there and added some gorgeous paper. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see inside. Oh yes, if I hold it down like that. The inside I've stamped as well and put some pretty designer paper, but underneath here I've put one of the magnetic discs, and the other magnetic disc is just there. And so when you actually shut the file folder, it clicks and the magnetic disc keeps it in place. So you don't have to do anything with it, which is very good. I didn't want to put a button and I didn't want to put some ribbon, and I found the magnetic disc worked really well. Anyway, let's get started and I'll show you what you need to actually make this box. To make the box, you'll need 7 pieces of cardstock. I've already cut all mine out and done the scoring, but this will be the first piece that you'll need. And this piece, the measurements are 11 inches by 5 1/4. When you've got your 11 inches by 5 1/4, what you're going to do is score, and you're going to score at 3 inches, 5 inches and 9 inches. So that's going to be your first piece. And as I said, it's 11 inches by 5 1/4, and you're scoring at 3 inches, 5 inches and 9 inches. This is going to be your second piece for the box, and this one is the same measurements, 11 inches by 5 1/4, but this time round your score lines are going to be 2 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. So again, the measurements are 11 inches by 5 1/4 for the whole piece, and then you're going to score at 2 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. The next pieces are going to be for your sides. Now you're going to need 2 of these, and these measurements are 3 1/8 of an inch by 4 1/2. The score lines for these are going to be 1 1/4 inch, and then you're going to turn it around and do 1 1/4 inch on the other side. As I said, the measurements are 3 1/8 of an inch by 4 1/2 inches, and then the score lines are 1 1/4 inch. You turn it around and you'll do 1 1/4 again, and you need 2 of these because they're going to be for your sides. Your next pieces are going to be for the expanding folders to slip your ATCs into. Now these measurements are 10 inches by 3 inches, and you'll need 3 of them, 10 inches by 3 inches. Then what you're going to do, you're going to score starting at the beginning, and it's every 1/2 inch along. So all of it's going to be in 1/2 inch increments, and you're going to do that 3 times. I've already done mine for you, and that's how they'll be. And as you can see, that's going to be your expanding file folders for inside the box. This is our first piece of card that we cut out. This is the 11 inches by 5 1/4, and the score lines are 3 inches, 5 inches and 9 inches. If you can see with this one, what I did was actually put a number 1 on the other side there. And I did that to, because they're very similar, I did that to help me so that when I put it together, I knew which pieces went with which. This is the second piece, and this is also the 11 inch by 5 1/4, but this is the 2 inch score lines, 6 inch and 8 inch. I did actually put a little 2 there, but you can't see it now because I've covered it over with tape. What you need to do with this second one, can you see where I've put the tape? I've covered tape the whole of this part here, and that's up to the 2 inch score line. Then I've actually put tape in here, and this is where you go up to the 5 inch score line, and I've done it on all 4 sides. And then when you go up to the 6 inch score line here, I've put tape and covered it, but I've put no tape where it goes from the 8 inch score line there. So you have tape, and it's all the way from edge to edge there, tape all the way there, and tape all the way there. What you're going to do now, where you've put the number 1 there, that's actually going to rest on the first score line of the number 2. Can you see? So the number 1 there, where I put the number 1, is going to rest onto the number 2 there. And you're going to, and the reason I put the tape on I didn't put a whole strip all the way down there, because when you put it together, you're going to have a lot of bulk at the score lines. So it's easier to attach the box in little stages rather than a whole piece of tape and put the whole thing together. It's much easier if you fold it. Right, I've actually attached the first piece there, and can you see where I've actually got the tape there? As I said, I do it in increments and pull the tape off so that I can actually score it, and the bulk will be taken up as you fold it. As I said before, if you try and do it all in one hit, the bulk actually restricts you an awful lot. This time round, I don't take all the tape off as well. I just take this piece off here, and then if you make a mistake or anything, it's much easier for you to be able to take the tape. And this time round, I've folded it so that it matches up as well. If everything looks okay, that's when I take the rest of the tape off inside here. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Right, I've gone ahead and I've taken off the other part of the double-sided tape, and I've used my roller to actually go along the crease lines to make sure they're I'm not sure whether I said to you, but I'm using a 300-gram cardstock, which is a very sturdy and thick cardstock. And what's actually happening is that I've doubled up the back of the box and the bottom of the box, and that's because it's going to be sitting on my desk. As I said, I know lots of people are going to be picking this up, so I wanted a lot of support in these places, so that's what I've done. Anyway, this is the last piece of cardstock, last piece of double-sided tape to be taken off here. So I'll take that off now. Just make sure everything's off. And then if you fold that over there, give it a roll. Now I use this roller, and the reason I use this roller is because it gives me a lot of pressure when I want to do the crease lines. I have used bone folders and crease folders in the past, but because of my arthritis, I've never been able to get a real lot of pressure on it. So this roller here, which you can get from any art shop actually, it's quite cheap, is perfect for me and anybody else with dexterity problems. You can get so much pressure. Has a little finger thing there, and it's gorgeous. And there you go. This is actually the start of the box. Right, now this needs to be folded over here now, and don't forget it's got a lot of bulk there, but with this roller, can you see you get a real lovely crisp crease line. So there, that's our box taking shape now. I've changed the camera position because you couldn't really see what I was actually doing, but what I've done is put the two pieces together there now. It's at this stage that what you're going to do is start decorating. You're going to put your papers on that you want on there. You're going to do any stamping that you need to do before we start on the next part. So I'm going to go ahead and do some, and then I'll come back to you. There you go, I'm back. I've actually decorated the outside of the box. This is the front part that I'm showing you now. This is the inside. This is the flap that'll go over. That's the top of the box. And then turn it around, and I've done lots of stamping and painting through sequin waste for the back of the box as well. These are the sides of the box. Again, some matting and layering, some sequin painting. I've stamped the flapper girls there. Stamped and then die cut with a stamp die. Whoops, lost, oh here it is, thought I'd lost it. The other side to the box, and this is one of the flapper girls again, and I've given her some gold embossing on the bottom of her dress with a bit of paint dabbed onto it as well. She's also got a die cut stamp behind her. You can just see the paper there, it's got a bird on it, and then I've stamped a little butterfly, and that one I've just left it with the matting and layering. I have some pretty ribbon here that I'm going to use on the box, but I'll wait until I've put it together and then decide where I'm going to put it. I'd like to put a bow on it somewhere, or something to do with the ribbon, because it matches the colour scheme perfectly. But I'm still not sure where I'm going to put it. Oh, I've just realised that I haven't put the tiny little magnetic discs. Right, I'm going to have to do that. Be back in a minute. I've found the magnetic discs, and I'm going to use two of these, and that's going to be for the closure of the flap. I've quickly made some little stamps as well. I don't know whether you can see it, I don't think so. I've got this lovely Tim Holtz stamp, and it is a stamp actually, you can't see it, but it's really good. But I also have this die, and it's a tiny little stamp die, And it's such a useful thing to have, because with the Tim Holtz stamp and with the die, they really look like postage stamps. So I've made 3 for the bottom here, and 1 will be hiding the magnetic disc, and then the same for the lid here, and again 1 will be hiding the magnetic disc. Am I glad that I realised I hadn't put the magnetic discs on there? It would have been a bit difficult to try and put them in after I'd put the whole of the box together. Anyway, one of the magnetic discs there is underneath the stamp, and the other magnetic disc is underneath the other stamp there. And when they go together, they just click. You can't see it much now, but at least you can see that it is. They are together. There you go. Okay, girls, we're on to the last part now, but this is the difficult part. Not difficult, it's just that it's a tiny little bit tricky. If you can see, sorry about the glare, there you go. What I've actually done is drawn a line right down the middle here. The reason that I've got that line there is a guideline for me to show me where to put my first concertina files. And what you're actually going to do, you're actually going to do them so that they go in the middle of that line. So if you put some glue, would help Shirley if you open the top. Right, so if you put some glue, and I recommend glue for this because it really does need to stick. Sorry about this, I need to get a tissue. There you go. If you get a little bit too much glue on there, just dab some off with the tissue. Right, as I said, what you're going to do, you're going to, where you've put the glue, you're going to put it down onto your pencil line, right in the middle, and you're going to have to hold it for a little bit until the glue dries. Give it a press down while you're holding it as well. There you go, that's my first one attached, and the glue really, make sure that the glue is completely dry, and you can fold the concertinas back in again without fear of any wet glue there. The next thing you're going to do now, if I can try, a bit awkward this to try and show you what to do, because you've got the pencil line as a guideline, you're going to put another layer of glue this side here, and then you're going to put a layer of glue along the pencil line. The reason you're going to put that layer of glue along the pencil line is for your folds to all adhere, and that's where your other concertina is going to attach to there. So it will go like that. So again, as I say, some glue along here, and then glue along the pencil line that you've done. There you go. I've glued it all down. That's the first part of the file folders in place. You put the middle one in first because it's easier in the long run. If you try to put an end, a middle and an end, it's quite awkward. Now we're going to put the next. Now we're going to put the next file folders in. Now remember I said to, well, I'm not sure whether I told you or not, but you have to put this side in the same way as that side has gone in there. So if you see, if I put it in, let me try and fold it up and show you a bit better. If I put that in like that, this piece here doesn't marry up with that piece there. So when you put the folders, when you put your folders in, they're not going to marry up. What you're going to have to do is find the way that it is. There you go. That's the way that that one's been put in, like that. Can you see what I mean? Once you do it, you will see what I'm talking about, but there is a right way and a wrong way of doing it. I can see that I've got the crease fold there, so I have to have a crease fold there. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put glue on one side. They concertina all over the place. Glue on one side, and then glue on the other side and some glue on the bottom, and that will be my second lot of file folders in there. There we go. That's that side in now. File folders are there. This is the next one to do, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. This time round we're going to see how we started this one off here, and I can see we started it with the flat end. So I'm going to glue the flat end there. When I say the flat end, that's that end. If I did it that way so that the flat end was facing me, that would be wrong. And as I said, you'll see that better when you come to do it yourself. So I know that has to be the flat end. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the flat end, and put some glue on the other side, and put a bit of glue on the bottom to put the other folders in. There you go. As you can see, I've got the file folders in now. That's how they look from the side. When you're doing it, don't worry about pinching them together. So while the glue's drying, it's not going to harm the box at all, especially since I've made it with such a strong cardstock anyway. So now, there you go, that's your box closed. There. But that's not the end of it now, because we're actually going to put our sides on. And the sides help to keep everything together and firm. They're not going to go anywhere then. Right, to do this as well, I put glue on the whole of this side piece. And the reason I do that is because that'll help keep these file folders in the right place and firm. They won't move them, because they're not only are they stuck at the bottom and the sides, they're also stuck with this side piece as well. There you go. So I've glued everything and all I'm going to do is put it onto the side and hold it until it's stuck. That's one side done. Can you see now? It's all attached. I put the edge to it there. This really does firm the box up now as well. And can you see that the little metallic discs are connecting better as well? Right, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side on now. There you go. That's both the sides put onto the box. There. There's the front of the box. That's when the box opened. And as you can see, all the file folders there. And that's the inside of the box there. There's the lid and the little magnetic catch works perfectly. And that's the back of the box. I'm still going to do a couple of more embellishments to it. I don't like it that I've hidden the lady there, so I think I'm going to stamp her again, cut her out and decoupage her over the top because I think she's gorgeous. A couple of pretty embellishments I think I'm going to finish off there, maybe a flower or two, but I'll come back and show you the finished project. This is the first one I made, this is the second one. Let me show you the prototype. With the workings out. Oh, I don't know if you can see them still at the bottom there, and working out all the pitfalls of what not to do. I have a couple of ATCs to put in there just to show you that everything slots in perfectly. There you go. Right, I'll be back to show you with the finished embellies on it.